Hey everyone, at Don here again, and I'm back with another episode of the weekly Bits and Pieces, and here we are, Thursday again, so let's get right into it. We're going to a new site today, ihorror.com. Starting off the top, Bruce Campbell speaks on CM Punk playing Ash in Evil Dead. Article was published on March 4th, 2020 by Trey Hilburn III. Here's a picture of CM Punk. Let's get right into the article. CM Punk has upped his horror cred with films like Girl on the Third Floor recently hitting Netflix. With it, a large outcry of fans think that CM Punk should play Ash Williams in the next chapter of The Evil Dead. Now, Bruce Campbell himself has taken to Twitter to speak his mind on the matter. Apparently, Campbell agrees with fans on CM Punk playing Ash. Well, sort of. You know what? CM Punk is great. He should play a guy in the horror series named Nash. Or maybe Bash or Lash. With all due respect, the name is Ash. Like the best table at the restaurant, reserved, Campbell tweeted. So that's definitely a lead in. That's why I played it up on how I phrased it. I don't think Campbell's fully a fan of it, but he goes on to say, so maybe not Ash Williams himself, but perhaps a Nash Williams in an alternate Evil Dead dimension. You know, The Evil Dead has always been a bonkers series, so this totally works for me. That's coming from the writer of this article. As long as they never try to play it straight, we're in for a good time. Campbell remains steadfast in his retirement from Ashley Williams, but still serves as producer along with Sam Raimi and Rob Tappert. The next Evil Dead film is currently in works from a filmmaker that Raimi has hand-selected. So what do you guys think here at the Bits and Pieces of CM Punk taking over that role or coming in as a different character as iHorror's writer there, Trey, says that it could be Nash Williams. Let us know. Let me know in the comments below what you think of someone taking over, especially CM Punk taking over for Ash, because we've talked about this new Evil Dead movie in recent weeks, so it's on the horizon. It's something to start talking about. Who's going to fill that role? Who's going to fill the void with Bruce Campbell stepping away from it? So CM Punk, I haven't watched that movie Girl on the Third Floor. Maybe I will. Who knows? He was not too bad of a talent in wrestling as far as that goes. Not that I watch too much of the more modern stuff, but anyways, before we wrap up, I thought it was interesting that they had so many articles on this site. You've got Temple of Doom, 10-inch Indiana Jones holding the statue that's from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, anyways. That's it for this article. Thank you so much, iHorror.com and Trey Hilburn III. Bruce Campbell speaks on CM Punk playing Ash in Evil Dead. Let's get on to the next one. Alright, and for the next article, we're going to go to Dark Universe Horror Database because they do so much great work over there in the horror genre. Title of this article is Todd McFarlane's R-rated Spawn reboot will begin production later this year, published by Nick Bond on March 3rd, 2020. So there's a picture of Spawn. Blumhouse and Todd McFarlane's long-delayed R-rated Spawn reboot will finally go into production later this year. While speaking with Comic Book last Friday, McFarlane shared a promising update on the project. So this is from McFarlane's perspective to the investors or on investors. Everybody in Hollywood wants an R-rated dark comic book movie, and Spawn is at the top of their list. The phone calls are coming in fast and rapid. I've been talking to a couple of Academy people. I've got the investors getting lined up. It's changed ever since the Joker, from being me begging them to do Spawn dark and creepy to them asking. So there we go. The last time we talked about it, it was that whole piece that he couldn't find. He was basically begging people to come and do this work. Joker changed the entire playing field, where he had Deadpool before that, made R-rated comic book movies hip and cool again. Now we've got Joker coming in, and ever since that dropped, it's changed the entire playing field that I guess Hollywood has seen value in it. So it's about time. So just to continue on, finally he adds, so I'm telling you, it will happen this year, and I will be directing it. Some of the early details on the film plot, I think we talked about this before, the last time we touched on the Spawn reboot. NYPD detective Twitch loses his daughter to gang violence. He then begins his quest for revenge by enlisting the help of his ex-partner Danny to aid in his investigation of the criminal factions in New York. Twitch quickly realizes he's in over his head as he learns that two of the largest organizations are teaming up to take over the criminal underworld of the cities. That's where Spawn comes in. Twitch is visited by Al, a mysterious man who has knowledge of his daughter's death. It quickly becomes clear that Al is not who he appears to be as he reveals himself to be Spawn, a messenger from hell who could aid Twitch in his search for justice. After such a long delay, do you here at the Bits and Pieces, do you all think that McFarlane will get this done? Do you think Spawn's going to be done? Then it just goes on to talk about who's going to be in the movie, that Jamie Foxx is going to be playing as Al, as Spawn, and Jeremy Renner will play the homicide detective, Maximilian Twitch Williams. That's a pretty good duo. I will watch that. I'm excited about that. I think it's going to happen. What about you people? What do my viewers think? What do you think if this idea in general of that cast team up, a darker R-rated Spawn than what we got before, and just in general having a Spawn reboot? I'm ready for it. It's about time. Let's get it done. Joker was good. The Deadpools were pretty good. Keep it rolling. Anyways, that's it for this article. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Todd McFarlane's R-rated Spawn reboot will begin production later this year. That's it. Let's get on to the next one. And for our last article of the week, we're going to continue on with Dark Universe Horror Database because they do oh so great work. And the title of the article is Halloween Ends Will Begin Filming in the Next 3 to 4 Months. Article was published on March 2nd, 2020 by Nick Bott. So there's a picture of Michael in Chicago just taking in the city, waiting for the subway. Do they have L trains? I thought Chicago had L trains. Maybe they got both. Anyways, that's an aside. Let's get on to the article. Halloween Ends, the final sequel in the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers saga, is set to begin filming real soon. According to producer Jason Blum, we have another 3 to 4 months to go before production officially begins. So pretty much just before we get Halloween Kills in the theater, we've covered a lot here on the Bits and Pieces in terms of Halloween Kills. They're going to start production on Halloween Ends. So is that going to be it? Is this going to be it? So we'll talk about this in a minute. But is this it for the Halloween series? Like, are we getting more? Or is this really Halloween Ends? Let's get on the article, then we'll talk more about that. In an interview with the folks over at Evolution of Horror, Bloom shared the following update. Halloween Kills. I saw it a couple weeks ago. It's amazing. It's super big. The canvas of the movie is big. We've already talked about this. We've covered it. He's pumping the tires. He's the producer. That's his job. For us at Bloomhouse, it's much bigger than our normal canvas. It's amazing. It's super violent, and I loved it. The third movie, we're not going to start shooting it for 3 or 4 months. And we talk about these same things every week. We talk about these articles. That's what Dark Universe Horror Database does. We've got a little bit of news snippet here, and I love them for it, but they've also got the same thing. David Gordon Green is attached to direct both Halloween sequels with John Carpenter, confirmed to provide the new scores. The third film will wrap up the Laura Strode and Michael Myers saga, and then we just get into the cast and the dates. Halloween Kills will stock theaters on October 16th, 2020, followed by Halloween Ends on October 15th, 2021. And then we've got like a picture of the teaser, and we're not going to play the teaser because I say that every week. Do not want copyright strike. But like I said off the top, when we started this article, is this really it? Is this going to be it? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. That'll be it for Blumhouse's trilogy. And then give it another 5 years and Halloween will be back in some variety. Anyways, this show will always be back in some variety to end it on a high note. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you did. Comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'll be back next Thursday with another episode of the Bits and Pieces. And until then, I'll talk to you soon.